Hello everyone, greetings from Kota, India, Kota, Rajasthan. I've spent the last 48 hours here and I've loved my time here. I had kind of low expectations because one of my Indian friends told me he spent the worst 2 years of his life here. The city's famous for training institutes for the standardized tests like the SAT equivalent here. So a lot of people will come here for the last 2 years of high school for some rigorous academics to prepare them for the college entrance exam. I guess that's what Kota is famous for these days. But I've been really impressed. They've really been rebranding the city and pouring a lot of money into infrastructure and monuments and the riverfront the last 5 years or so. So I think they have everything in place to become a major tourist destination, I think. So um, if some of you have been to Kota a few years ago and weren't impressed, you should come back again, give it another chance. Um, the weather's been great. It's been upper 70s Fahrenheit here, while it's been uh, below freezing back in Indiana. So I'm just thankful I can wear my t-shirts. The city has about 1.5 million people, but it's more compact than American cities. So it takes up the footprint of what a city in America would have 100,000 people for the same footprint. So think Greater Lafayette, or just a little bigger than Owensboro, Kentucky, or Manhattan, Kansas, for my friends in those states. Um, but yeah, we're level with the southern tip of Florida, or just south of the farthest point in Texas, south. So nice and warm in December. I guess it gets pretty hot in the summer. Um, and honestly, some of the landscape has reminded me of Texas or Arizona. Um, so the streets, yeah, they're crowded and a little chaotic, but everybody understands each other for who can push their way through first and when you need to wait and when you can go. So yeah, organized chaos with a lot of three-wheel auto rickshaws and motorbikes and some cars and cows. Occasionally there'll just be a cow standing on the edge of the road, halfway blocking a lane, but still room for an auto rickshaw to pass them in that lane. And the lane markings are just suggestions here anyway, I guess. So my first tourist stop was the city park yesterday afternoon. And I think any city in the US would be proud of having a park like that. I think it's fairly new, maybe half a mile by half a mile square. Um, I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, some nicely uh, cared for lawns and shrubs and some trees, some statues, and yeah, so cool architecture in places, monuments. Yeah, I got to see some peacocks in the wild there, so that was cool. Um, there was a small entry fee and a small parking fee, small compared for an American. Um, Things that cost about 10 times less here as a general rule. So uh, yeah, it's like $1 for an entry fee, whereas you might pay $10 for an entry fee, something like that in the U.S. From there, we went to get some snacks at some shops in town. Kachori is a local delicacy. It's kind of like a fried pie. Uh, so the stuffing is spicy, salty potatoes and onions, and then it has a wheat flour, I think, shell, like a pie crust, and it's deep fried, so nice and crisp and crunchy and that nice brown deep fried flavor. And then you pour tamarind sauce on top that adds some sweet and sour tang to it. So it's a really nice combination. I really liked it. If you're ever in Rajasthan, try the kachori. We also went to a sweet shop. I got to try some sweets there. And I think all the sweets I'd had in the US as gifts from Indian friends, but these were fresher. They were nice and fresh, soft, melt in your mouth versions. So that was nice to have. After that, we went to the waterfront, the Chumbo River waterfront, and this was so impressive. I don't know if I've ever been this impressed with any architecture in my life. The park stretches on and on for 2 miles down the riverbank, and it's palace facade after palace facade, big statues of animals, big staircases leading down to the river. Uh, in one stretch, it was a statue garden with some small temples, and in another place, they had large large scaled down models of famous buildings from around the world, famous temples or the U.S. Capitol, Westminster Abbey. Um, yeah, big palace at the end, a huge statue of the river goddess, and we happened to be there right at the time for the daily um, prayer service, so we got to see some of that. But yeah, live music at places, some dance performances going on at places along there, and just you keep walking, and it's still impressive and still impressive. And we only saw half of it. And my host's mom says she likes the other side better. And so you could spend all day there, do a picnic lunch. Again, there was an entry fee. It was 500 rupees for foreigners, which translates to like $6. So not bad. Yeah, this is really impressive. If you ever have the chance to come to Kota, you have to visit the waterfront, the Chumbo River waterfront. After that, I came back to the host house for some dinner, and then in the evening, we went to the Seven Wonders Park in Kota, and it has models of the seven wonders of the world. So the Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty, Colosseum, Leaning Tower of Pisa, stuff like that. Um, I kind of wish I'd done that before the waterfront. I think after the waterfront, it wasn't quite as impressive, but if I'd done it first, it would have been more impressive in its own right just to see the seven wonders. So if you ever come to Kota for tourism, hit the seven wonders first before the waterfront. This morning I did some street shopping. I got 2 new pairs of prescription glasses for $40, and the eye exam was free. Um, and bought 2 new pairs of shoes and a gift for my wife, but I won't say what that is because it'll be a surprise for her, and I hope she watches this. Um, so let's see. Then we did a boat tour. The river upstream from the city, I believe it's the west side, is a crocodile sanctuary. We saw 9 or 10 crocodiles, so not a swarming sanctuary with tons of crocodiles, but we got to see several. Um, and we also got to see some monkeys and a lot of kinds of birds. Um, yeah, egrets and trying to remember the names of them, cormorants and ibis and vultures. They're different from American vultures. I think some swallows or some kind of birds that were diving for mosquitoes. And so it was really cool. Got to see a lot of wildlife. Saw a few monkeys as well. They were harder to get a picture of though. So yeah, the boat tour was cool. They do not have commercial tours from companies. You have to book through the forestry department of the government forestry department. My host or his dad handled the booking, so I don't know how easy it is to do, but it was worth the time. It was kind of a canyon for a lot of the way, cliffs on both sides, and a fairly wide river running through the middle. But it didn't quite feel like a canyon with how wide the river was, but there were cliffs on both sides, and it was really pretty. Tonight, after dinner, I did karaoke with my friend's dad. It turns out his dad really likes karaoke and has had some training as a singer, and so we had fun showing each other some songs. My hosts have been really friendly, generous. They cook good food. And yeah, so if you come to Kota, it's great if you have a friend you can stay with. I'm sure there are hotel options too. Um, but yeah, that's my impressions of Kota. I think they have everything in place to become a major tourist destination if they can just get an airport and get some more publicity out there, build some name recognition. But yeah, it's really cool.